Hello, beautiful, amazing, fantastic world, and you, beautiful, wonderful individual. Today, I think I'm going to go back to basics. Not too basic, of course, but I am going to talk about ego, astral, etheric, and physical. Now, these four are also reflected in fire, air, water, earth, or human, animal, plant, mineral, and so on. They are reflected in, well, different states of how we perceive them. Our ego, our I am, is our center of, well, experiencing. It is also reflected in the blood. So our ego is the physical manifestation of the reflection of the ego is the blood, warmth. In our blood is our warmth, fire. We have the astral of that. The ego is also the youngest, but the most sublime, ironically. The physical body is the oldest, and it also is, well, the most overly developed and most impure at the moment. Ironically enough. But things turns upside down over time. The ego, as I said, your center, I am, is what works upon your astral and etheric and physical body to master yourself. Your astral body, the airy body, is reflected in your nervous system, movement, desires, pleasures, pains, dreams, aspirations, and so on, or empathy or antipathy. These are the astral body. The standard astral world around us, the normal thought world, is the Luciferic realm. So if you are just in your standard thought world, you end up in the Luciferic type of thinking. Dragging these thoughts down into the body, making these thoughts dry, boring, philistine, and completely without life. Now, then we have dragged it down to the etheric body, and that is where Ahriman is paining us a little. He is constantly sucking out everything fun, everything loving, everything nurturing and beautiful to just become matter. It doesn't matter anymore, literally. He just wants to see things cold, dead, objective and atomic. Lucifer, on the other hand, wants you to be overly frivolous and only follow the good feelings and only follow frivolity without taking life seriously. You heard of that type of people? Yeah, they are very, very much carefree. Nothing wrong with that, mind you. It just is not the best kind of qualities if you are to master yourself. Lucifer is not the guy to master himself. Ahriman, on the other hand, yeah, to a certain extent, but not in the direction that is healthy for a human being. The Christ have both of these balanced in. That means you can actually have fun, enjoy, and, well, have a certain love for life. On the other hand, you have discipline, strength, inner foundation, and also a certain sincerity and seriousness. But you have it balanced in the middle here, so you are not extreme on one or the other side, the Luciferic or the Ahrimanic. So, the Luciferic is in the astral, the airy. Now the fire is in our blood. So, ego, blood, fire. The astral, nervous system, air. The etheric comes from the glandular system, a reflection of our life functioning forces, and is also water. It is our fluidic body. And then we go down to the physical, our mineral body, which also is constantly breaking down our life. Constantly bringing in death-dealing forces that is constantly breaking down our being. So over a course of 70 to 100 years, our etheric forces will no longer be able to keep this mineral force alive anymore. So we will leave the body and that is how we pass. It's no end there though. That is the fun part. you can come to have a living sense of it. That this life is by no means your only one. You have come from a long line of lives, and you are on your way to a long line of lives. The more you work upon yourself in this lifetime, with what you have, unfolding your potential, mastering, strengthening, getting to know what you have to work with, the better and more healthy disposition you have in your next life. You prepare your foundation for your next life. And with the etheric body, I will have to digress a bit, because this is, you see, I am inside a sphere here, and I'm trying to explain many things at the same time. So I'm trying to bring a certain organization to this. But you have the ego in our blood, the astral body in our nervous system, the etheric in our glandular system, the physical body is our physical body. The ego is I am. You can meditate and become silent enough to observe yourself objectively, your astral being, your promptings, longings, your impulses and will impulses that want to make you move, that want to make you do something. Once you become aware of all of these things that is constantly affecting you, you can start to master your breath, so you can sit within your body. You see, the more you're able to be in the present moment consciously, but observational, and also in a certain reverent state, the more you do it, the more you build your body to allow your ego to reside within it as a temple. The more impure and the more immoral your being is, this is just to put it into perspective, the less your ego can be in your body, unless, and I do not like to say this, unless you in conscious choice choose black magic. Black magic hollows you out so that you become a vessel for the suratic, asuric forces. That means you become a physical manifestation of the ego of Surat, the adversary of the Christ, which is today sleeping. He is very lethargic and is just waking up now. He is the worst of the worst, and we will see more of him later. There will come more and more. That is why we strengthen the good, the beautiful, the loving, the nurturing. There will come a time where there will be two different sides. There will be the evil race and the good race, and it will be the war against all. This will be a reflection of our actions and deeds from our past lives, how much we have transgressed against others, how much we have chosen to redeem and make amends on what we have done damage to, how we have chosen to grow and to develop ourselves, and so on, is all about mastery. And it is about, well, redeeming and bringing karma to a certain payment. You see, karma is a grace. It is not a punishment. Karma helps us redeem, helps us make amends and repair what has been done in damage based on action, thoughts, or feeling. The more you can stably sit in feelings of respect, love, reverence, beautiful objectivity and warmth, and so on, the more you live it day by day, make your body so that it can handle such forces. The more you work in practice, the more you allow the higher beings of the hierarchy to penetrate and to live through your body, in a sense. And by them being there, they are working upon your being. They are helping you grow, strengthen, build the future foundation for mankind. That is the intention too. If you don't have the intention of helping all of mankind, you are not doing true spiritual work. You are doing purely egotistical, self-preserving, self-seeking work. We need to have this outflow of inspiration and creativity so that people can know what they have, or at least be inspired to know what they have. So that when you listen to me, my enthusiasm, what I burn, what I cannot live without this, you become inspired to go seek it out yourself. so that you can come to understand. Because I promise you, when you have studied enough and you have come to anthroposophy or spiritual science, we will come to the same conclusions, I guarantee you. It is a truth, it is a reality, you see. And I have faith that whoever, from their own machine power and strength, fight for the truth and fight for their understanding of things, will come to the same understanding as any other spiritual scientist. Yes, the flavors might be a little different, but you can connect everything because you see the interconnectivity from every culture and every part of the world. We bring a living network of beauty on this earth by practicing and bringing in a stable flow of creativity. We do not hoard and have this for ourselves. We do this to share. So I show you, you have your ego, astral, etheric, and physical. Now you have these four. Now you are aware that the ego reflects in the blood, astral in the nervous system, movement. If you didn't have the astral, you would be a plant. You have mineral, etheric body. Then you will be a plant without movement. Put the astral in, you are an animal with movement. Put the ego in, you are a human being. It is amazing that way. That is why we also are so freaking different from animals. And please don't ever convince yourself that you are just a rational animal. Rationality doesn't exist in the animal world, so it is just a contradiction. But I digress. We are human beings, spiritually, in between human and animal in a sense. We are not fully human yet, because we need to purify and make amends for karma we have done. If we still have certain things we need to repair for ourselves and heal in our own inner being, there is still work to be done. And, well, there is eternal work to be done. We work for the eternal. That is what we do. There is no end. Look forward into eternity. Do you see yourself stop working? Don't do that. Don't ever rest. Development is eternal. Change is eternal. The more you get used to that, the more you get used to the movement, the more brave you can become in every situation, because movement is what you live by. You live by changes, and you see, and you feel, and you are there, experiencing, feeling, living, getting to understand it. You might not understand it in the moment it happens, but just wait a week, then you look back at it. Then you can see things you wouldn't necessarily get to understand until later. It is the same with your past life, with your childhood. The older you become, the more clear your childhood memories become, and the more you can reflect upon your own life. There is, until you reach a certain age in your life, that means around 26 to 28, you will not have that ability to self-reflect truly, in a real, objective, loving sense. You need to have matured so that you have all the faculties, well, as matured as you can be, so that you are able to do so. Because we are given, as I said, the ego and the astral and the etheric are weaved into our being as a child over time by higher beings and ourselves. So we grow and become what we are. That is what happens. It's not like the higher beings is working on our etheric since birth, weaving into growing, shaping the organs, shaping everything. And it is all about connecting to the higher beings that actually are having behind the physical, you see? There is a whole hierarchy behind the physical. And as I say in almost every video, physical results is but spiritual facts. So the spiritual make movements and the physical thereafter becomes results. So in reality there is no separation from these. But we have come to a certain stage where we need to make this alive again. It's hard to explain it, but I digress. Now that I have it's so funny. I normally I give one title and I stick to that title, of course, but the esoteric science is so darn broad. You can seek any kind of areas in this whole life and study it through anthroposophy. And you can get to understand it and feel it and see it and also see what is the purpose of it. You see, every single thing on this earth has a certain purpose. Evil, hindrances, challenges, and immorality is challenges to be overcome so that we can cultivate the opposite, cultivate what is good, beautiful, true, inclusive, loving, understanding, compassionate. If we didn't have the opposite, we wouldn't know what to counteract with. And we do not counteract with fighting them. We counteract them with just, alright, let's cultivate something that will automatically counteract these unloving forces. We cultivate loving forces that automatically denies these kinds of actions. Right? That is how we slowly but surely just, and all of a sudden we just were enough people awake to catch those that are in power of God, you know? We do this in silence. We do this in steady stability over time. We do not need to announce ourselves. We are doing this behind the scenes through higher beings and with higher beings. Remember this. So, we do this in silent, dignified work. And we do not need to convince anyone because we live this. We know what this is. But we do not need to convince anyone. We just inspire. Because that is the right thing to do. To give a certain feeling of enthusiasm. And I will leave you with this today. May Father, Holy Spirit, Christ, Michael, Christian Rosenkreuz, ancient masters of old, and ancestors from every incarnation bless, protect, guide, and love you. And may you master your own ego, astral, etheric, and physical being so that you can transform the physical or transform the astral to become manas, transform the etheric so it can become buddhi, and transform the physical body so that it can become atman. That means you use your ego to go into your astral being, transforming your astral being so that you lift yourself up to higher realms and not in the Luciferic anymore. That is when you transform your astral being to manas or spirit self. Use your ego to go into the etheric, your life force, your habits, and so when you pray every day and you make that prayer by heart, you are working into the etheric body and the fluidic, the glandular body, the life formative forces. You transform it into buddhi, to life spirit. That means you are consciously in your life body and working upon it, bringing in good habits, good thoughts and feelings. Pervade your being with reverence and respect and dignity, and gratitude is love, and it helps you transform your whole being. You put your ego into the physical body through breath. That means you are conscious in your being, breathing. The more you get to sit in your being consciously, the more you master it. Your ego needs to be inside your being. It needs to work upon these three. And that is how you become a sevenfold human being in the future. Of course, this is just pictures and symbols I can show you because it has to be cultivated. It's a future thing. But you know the concepts now. And then you can work upon it if you like. Or you can find your own practice and go seek for yourself. Find out for yourself. Don't take my words on authority. Go be objectively curious and wondrous about what I am speaking about. And that is what I will leave you with. I love you so much. Thank you. May Father, Holy Spirit, Christ, Michael, ancient masters of old, ancestors of every incarnation, and Christian Rosenkreuz bless, protect, guide, love you on your beautiful, magnificent path. And may you, as I said, master your ego, astral, etheric, physical, manas, buddhi, and atman. And may you master your thinking, feeling, and willing. And may you get to know yourself and get to become accepting of yourself, grateful for yourself, so that you truly can appreciate the life you have been given. You can appreciate whatever comes and goes, what you learn from it, the lessons, anything. It is all about holding that inner strength. Love you all. Bless you so much. Goodbye.